From Party Foul in Murfreesboro, here's Blue Raider Extra Point.
Welcome to Blue Raider Extra Point. I'm Houston Chapman alongside Chase Owens and Will Stevenson, and we're here at Party Foul in Murfreesboro on this college game day morning, ready to get you all the Conference USA and MTSU Blue Raider action. Let's go ahead and get started with Nathan Vaughn in the starting lineup.
The starting lineup.
Tennessee has gone almost a full calendar year without a loss, with its last defeat coming at the hands of Alabama in 2019. UT has handled business against lesser foes Missouri and South Carolina so far in 2020, but now faces its biggest challenge yet in rival Georgia. The Bulldogs are hot off a dominant rivalry win over Auburn last week, where the Dogs' defense owned the Tiger offense and quarterback Bo Nix for 60 minutes. Stetson Bennett has taken charge at QB1, and Zamir White seems to be the heir to the throne at running back. A win for either team would put them in pole position for the SEC East crown, alongside Florida, this early in the season. In the first of two top-of-the-table ACC matchups this week, top 10 teams clash as Miami heads to Clemson for the biggest game of the week. The game will be a showdown between top draft prospects Trevor Lawrence for Clemson and De'Aaron King of Miami. Both teams are averaging over 40 points per game in offense and nearly 500 yards of total offense, and both teams are also locking opposing teams down for under 20 points per game on defense. Defense may in fact be the name of the game between both teams as they try and restrain the other in what promises to be a shootout between the ACC's premier squads. In the other headline ACC game of the week, the Hokies seem to have finally found their wings under Justin Fuente to start the season, but will take on its fiercest opponent yet, and the number 8 ranked Tar Heels. Oregon transfer quarterback Braxton Burmeister has taken a back seat in the offense to the dominant rushing game piloted by Khalil Herbert. The combo is made up for the unstereotypically weak Hokie defense, but will need a lot of gas in the tank to outshine Sam Howell in the Heels. Speaking of Howell, he has been slow to open his sophomore year with an equal amount of touchdowns and interceptions, but UNC is still undefeated despite having a massive COVID outbreak a few weeks ago. The Tar Heels are only giving up 54 rushing yards a game so far in 2020, but that will be tested against the ground-heavy Hokies.
Thanks, Nathan. Those are some great games. Chase, what are your can't-miss games for this week?
This week, my two games for you guys are, one of the biggest rivalries in college football, Oklahoma versus Texas, otherwise known as the Red River Rivalry. I think Oklahoma losing 2 weeks in a row when they definitely shouldn't have, the teams they shouldn't have, it's going to have them pumped, ready to come out. And I think Texas kind of slipping in the rankings. I mean, a couple weeks ago, they went to overtime with Kansas State. I mean, this is just going to be a fun game with two teams trying to get back their season on track. And then I also like Marshall versus Western Kentucky. I think Western Kentucky getting their first win against MTSU is going to have some momentum kind of swinging their way. And then Marshall, undefeated on the year. We're top 25 at one point in the AP rankings. I think it's just going to be a fun one to watch.
Absolutely. Well, we got to take a quick break. Up next, we'll have the Big Blue Review, so stay tuned for more Blue Raider Extra Point.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Welcome back to Blue Raider Extra Point. I'm Houston Chapman alongside Chase Owens and Will Stevenson, and we're here on this college game day morning. Let's go ahead and kick it over to the Noahs with the Big Blue Review.
The Big Blue Review.
Welcome back. First, let's take a look back at the 100 Miles of Hate game.
That was another tough loss for our Blue Raiders as West Kentucky took the homecoming game 20-17.
Yeah, no, this is the 8th time in the last 10 games that the final score was decided by less than one touchdown. Also, did you know that this is the first time we've started 0-4 since 2007?
Wow, seriously? Hopefully our Blue Raiders will turn around this week against FIU.
Oh, I don't doubt that they will. There's still a lot of season left and there's lots of room for improvement.
Well, what else happened this weekend?
Actually, we had a tennis tournament here on campus this weekend.
Really? Well, how'd we do?
Well, on Friday, our Blue Raiders men's tennis team collected 12 wins against Chattanooga.
12?
But wait, there's more. On Saturday, we collected 9 more wins, both against Chattanooga and Troy, heading into the round robin play on Sunday.
Well, how'd Sunday go?
Our Blue Raiders finished with 27 wins on the weekend over Troy, Chattanooga, and MTSU. 2 of the guys even went 6-0. The men's team will be back in action this week at home in the Buck Bolden Battle of the Borough.
Wow, what else is going on campus?
That's a conversation for next week as we are all out of time. Back to y'all from the nose.
Thanks to the Noahs, and much more coming up on Blue Raider Extra Point. We're going to take a TV timeout, but when we come back, we're going to take you around the CUSA.
And I'll have this week's Blue Raider Spotlight.
And now that I'm on a bit of a hot streak, my favorite portion coming up later in the show is the picks. Stick around for more Blue Raider Extra Point.
You're watching Blue Raider Extra Point.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzz and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
We're back at Party Foul Murfreesboro here on this college game day morning, and Chase has been working around the Conference USA. Chase, what do you have for us this week?
This week I actually have one of the games that I wanted to watch earlier. It was Marshall versus Western Kentucky. I wanted to cover a little bit of myself. Then I've also got MTSU versus FIU. Let's get right into it.
Around the CUSA.
Marshall is undefeated on the season and looks to keep that alive as they take on Western Kentucky. Brendan Knox, the running back, has been very good for the Herd as he has over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns through his first 2 games. Against a Western Kentucky defense that allows right around 200 yards on the ground per game, Knox, alongside running mate McDaniels, is poised to have a huge game and keep the Thundering Herd's undefeated season alive. Western Kentucky is coming off of their first win of the season against a winless MTSU team. Tyrell Pogrom finally looked like the quarterback that Western Kentucky thought he would be when he went for over 200 all-purpose yards and added 2 touchdowns through the air. All of this without having a single turnover. Marshall's defense might limit Pogrom's ground game, but they give up right around 288 passing yards per game, so look for the Hilltoppers to take advantage where it counts. MTSU has put together back-to-back good games, but unfortunately have not recorded a win yet on the season. Asher O'Hara has turned his season around as he has 788 all-purpose yards and 5 total touchdowns through the last 2 games against UTSA and Western Kentucky. MTSU may have to limit his carries as the season continues. He can't have 25 again, but getting the ball and keeping it in Asher's hands can only spell success for the Blue Raiders. FIU is coming off their first game of the season in which they lost to a very hot Liberty team. They also haven't had nearly the practice time due to the coronavirus hurting their team. They only had 3 offensive linemen practice a lot during the offseason. With all that happening, running back Devontae Price was still able to rush for 148 yards on only 13 attempts. That's a first down every time he carried the ball. MTSU's defense has not been able to contain big runners this year, so look for Price to get going early in this matchup.
Thanks, Chase. Now here's the full lineup of Conference USA games.
Those are a great lineup of games, but I hear we got something special going on with the Blue Raider Spotlight as Houston Chapman took on some MTSU soccer players. And as a former player, I know that what you did wasn't too easy. Let's get into the Blue Raider Spotlight.
What's up, Blue Raiders? I'm Houston Chapman here at the Blue Raider Spotlight. I'm here with Jenny and Hannah. Tell me all about yourselves.
My name's Jenny Francis. I'm a sophomore and I'm a defender.
I'm Hannah Suter. I'm also a sophomore and I'm a goalkeeper.
So how was the season going last year?
The season was good. It was definitely new to all of us since we were freshmen. We found out a lot about our strengths and weaknesses. I think we're looking for some growth this year. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think we made good strides last year getting into the conference tournament. We all feel like we can do better than what we did, but overall a great freshman year for all of us.
So what have you been working on this offseason?
Personally, I've been working on a lot of fitness, a lot of crosses, and working on defending.
Individually, I've just been working on, playing big and working on my distribution out wide.
All right, so Jenny, what is your favorite thing to do in soccer?
I love doing penalty kicks.
You know what? Me too. How about we do some penalty kicks against Hannah? Let's see who can get the most goals.
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Jenny went first, and she scored 2 quick goals. But Hannah responded and got 2 nice saves. Then it was my turn, and I missed the goal on my first 2 attempts. Looking to respond, I tried 2 more, but she made 2 great saves. Then Hannah took a try, and she scored in her first 2 attempts. But then, I got 1 stop, and then on this last one, saved it with my face. She took out my smeller, but I saved the goal.
Wow, that was great. Jenny really showed why she loves penalty kicks, and Hannah had some really good saves. Me, I did not have very good kicks. Obviously, I shouldn't be out there doing that. But here's the thing, I had a great time. If you want to check out more of Hannah, Jenny, and the rest of the women's soccer team, check them out on social media. And tune in next week for the next Blue Raider Spotlight.
Houston, it looks like you're a natural in goal, but we may need to work on that shot a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, listen, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have Zachary Lone and the scouting report. So stay tuned for more Blue Raider Extra Point.
Catch Blue Raider Extra Point right here Saturday mornings at 10:30 from Party Foul in Murfreesboro.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Time for more Blue Raider Extra Point.
Welcome back. Let's head over to Zachary Lone and the scouting report.
Thanks. Florida International has started the season 0-1 after a heartbreaking 36-34 loss to Liberty. MTSU needs to look out for running back Devontae Price. Against Liberty, Price had 13 rushing attempts that went for 148 total yards. That was good for 11.4 yards per carry. Limiting his success on the ground will be key for an MTSU win. Florida International gave up 527 total yards in their first game against Liberty. MTSU will need to move the ball effectively this game as they only averaged 329 total yards per game. MTSU only averages 4.8 yards per play, but FIU gives up 6.4. So look for MTSU to have some big plays like Liberty did a couple weeks ago. Florida International averages 128 yards per game rushing, while MTSU gives up over 200. MTSU will need to try and fix this as limiting Devontae Price will be the key. The Golden Panthers gave up 308 passing yards last game, and MTSU averages only 211 yards through the air per game. So look for MTSU to take a few early shots down the field to try and spread this FIU defense out. Against Liberty, Florida International had 15 penalties for 127 yards. Middle Tennessee has also had a few undisciplined moments as they averaged 6 penalties per game for 54 yards. MTSU will need to stay disciplined to keep themselves out of long-distance situations. Liberty only punted the ball twice all game against FIU. This is an opportunity for MTSU's offense to get themselves into a rhythm. Middle Tennessee will need to hold on to the ball as they turn the ball over twice per game. Florida International did not have a turnover against Liberty. Holding on to the ball could be a deciding factor in this game. This game features two teams looking for their first win of the season. Middle Tennessee and Florida International stack up well against each other on paper, so it will be interesting to see how this game ends up. Back to you.
Thanks, Zachary. Now, with the scouting report in mind, what are your keys to succeed?
My first key for you guys this week is keep Asher O'Hara hot. Through 2 games, he's had 788 total yards and 5 touchdowns. If we keep feeding the hot hand, we're going to have another good week with him. Number 2, dominate time of possession. Through 4 games this season, MTSU has won 1 time of possession battle, and it was against UTSA, and probably our best game of the year. And then number 3, complete the game. We've seen games where MTSU has had a strong passing attack and a bad ground game, and then a strong ground game and a bad passing attack. Put it all together and see where you're at the end of the day.
Yes, and my first key, run hard. You got to hit FIU where they're weak, and their coach mentioned how the team was only able to practice with 3 linemen because of COVID. Make them miss assignments and rack up rushing yards. The second key is get tricky. I'd love to see a trick play at this point. You're 0-4, and it's going to be hard to overcome that without having a little bit of fun. Run some fakes, get a pierce to Asher, flea flicker, whatever it is, catch them off guard. And the third key is strong defense. We're scoring plenty, and we are playing as a winning offense. But that doesn't matter if you're going to allow 20 points per game on the defensive side. Get some stops and keep the time of possession high.
Yeah, I agree. My first key, get out to a fast start. I want MTSU to set the tempo early and get out to an early lead. My second key, get the running backs involved. Asher O'Hara had 25 carries last game, which is way too many. The other running backs need to pick it up. And my last key, finish the game. I want MTSU to hold on to a lead at the end and get our first win of the season.
Absolutely, and if MTSU can follow those keys, then they'll be successful. We got to head to a timeout, so we're going to come back, and when we do, we're going to have this week's picks. Stick around.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Welcome back to Blue Raider Extra Point. Today we are joined by Party Foul's very own Carter Hayes. Carter, thank you for being here today, man.
Hey, thank y'all for having me, fellas.
Yeah, let's go and get started with the picks. Up first, we have UTEP versus La Tech.
I'm going to go La Tech in this one.
I've got La Tech.
I'm going to go with UTEP.
I've got La Tech. Next, we got Marshall versus Western Kentucky.
I know earlier I talked about Western Kentucky's momentum, and I think it'll help them. But I think the Herd being undefeated, continue that streak. Give me the Herd.
Yeah, the Herd's just too strong right now. I've got Marshall.
I'm going to go with Middle Tennessee rival, Western Kentucky.
Ooh. I've got Marshall. Next, we got FAU versus Southern Miss.
FAU won their first game, and with everything going on with COVID, that was just kind of cool to watch. And I think they continue with a strong start and get to 2-0. Give me the Owls.
And they've got fresh legs. I think that's going to help them. I've got Florida Atlantic.
Got FAU as well.
I've got FAU. Next, we have UTSA versus BYU.
Not really that hard. BYU.
Yeah, that's an easy one. I got BYU.
BYU. Next, we have Charlotte versus North Texas.
I don't know what the voice inflection was there, but we're going to go with Charlotte. We could skip Will's pick because y'all know and I know who he's picking, but Will, go ahead.
We've got North Texas, man. You're going to see by the end of this weekend. Charlotte's
Probably not by the end of the season, but
I got North Texas.
Is the green mean? Yeah. I got North Texas.
I've got North Texas as well. All right, we have MTSU versus FIU.
All right, guys. Guys watching at home, you guys, I know that I give MTSU a lot of flack, but I'm picking them to win this week and get their first win of the season.
Cannot go 1-5. I've got MT.
Go Blue Raiders.
I've got MT.
Check out Blue Raider Extra Point on Instagram and Twitter.
Carter, man, we want to thank you for being here, man. Before we let you go, what are some of your favorite things about working at Party Foul?
The homemade mac and cheese is really killer. It's a great staff. It's a good place to hang out.
You mentioned that homemade mac and cheese. You got to give me some.
Yes, sir.
We want to thank you, especially everybody at Party Foul, for allowing us at Blue Raider Extra Point to call this our home, to be able to come and shoot every week. So we just want to extend that thank you to you.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Make sure you guys tune in every Saturday at 10:30 right here on Channel 9. And make sure you follow us on social media. We want to hear from you guys.
Absolutely. And if you missed any of this episode or any of our last episodes, you can check those out on our website at middletennesseenews.net. Thank you for watching and have a great week.
Dude, why do you keep picking North Texas?
You got to, man. Just like
No, you
MTSU.
don't.
Hey,
We're
this is
picking
their
MTSU.
time. North Texas is going to show
What
up.
about it is their time?
It's because they've heard Will and they need him.
They've heard Will. Well, they're 0 whatever. They just keep losing.
Yeah, but eventually they're going to win.
Who said that? Didn't Kansas lose every game for like 3 years?
But you
Kansas,
also
they're
chose
North
MTSU, and they're coming up on what could be 0-5. It's just they've got a lucky matchup with FIU.
Yeah, but North Texas doesn't have a lucky matchup because they're playing Charlotte.
But that green is mean, man.
That green is mean.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.